Going on, everybody? It's Coach Jan, and welcome to Justice for Hire's Tai Chi to the People. Every week, we dedicate our training of Justice for Hire, which is a show that anybody can join the cast, right, from justiceforhire.app, a cinematic universe that we're building together. We dedicate our community training sessions to a noble cause of the week. And we're training Tai Chi, which is one of my favorite things to share. I coach the U.S. team. And the noble cause of the week is every town safe. Let me I will confirm that right now because I just discovered them, but they're about gun safety in every town, and I think that's really important. And here we go. Every town for gun safety. So at every town, you can find them on Instagram or go directly to their site. If you like the training, please donate, but the donation is never something that you have to do. Everyone's welcome. It's free to train. And we do this every week as part of Justice for Hire, justiceforhire.app. That being said, we're going to do, today, we're going to continue our 12 yin set of Neigong training. The yin set of Neigong from the Wu style of Tai Chi. Neigong is like weightlifting for intention. So we're going to focus on the 11th exercise, and all the previous exercises, numbers 4 through 10 are available right now on both the Justice for Hire YouTube channel and my Tai Chi, Coach Jan's Tai Chi YouTube channel. So you'll be able to dive into all those exercises. Exercises 1 through 4, I'm going to do something very special for them. I actually had a dream last night about it. So we're going to do some never before seen camera work to express Tai Chi breathing, to really give you the sense of the breath work and how the mind needs to move through the body by utilizing visualization to give yourself a vehicle for your attention. So we're going to work on all of that in the coming weeks, but today it's number 11, and it's giant snake rolls over to fight. And it's one of my favorite exercises, one of my father's favorite, and it sets up some really amazing grappling techniques as well. Essentially, a very basic one, an underhook. And so we're going to go into that, and let's get started. First, we're going to do our warm-ups, starting with Gilded Pillow, meaning that, there we go. Standing, feet shoulder length apart and parallel, palms facing down. And there's an imaginary string lifting you from the top of the head. This imaginary string should feel like it's pulling you up, and then all of a sudden, even if it lifts your collarbone, you're going to relax the collarbone and let relaxation cascade down your spine. All the way down the spine, even down to the tailbone. So if the butt is sticking out, if you find any tension in the lower back, you want to soften that tension so the tailbone points straight down, as if there's a weight on the tailbone. It's not a tuck. So if you find yourself tucking in to achieve that, note that you'll be creating tension in your groin. And that tension in the groin can lead to challenges, including hernias. And you don't want that, because I've had one. It sucks. So don't do that. So just drop the tailbone straight down. Soften the knees. The relaxation cascades all the way through the legs, through the knees, down into the ankles, into the feet, the soles of the feet. More specifically, the weight should be on the center of each heel. The mouth is closed. All the breathing will be through the nose, and your tongue is gently placed on the ceiling of your mouth. The counterpoint to the tongue is going to be very subtle, slight tension in the anus, very subtle, slight tension in the anus, to contain all the breath. The breath work pulls in the visualization, pulls into the belly. You're going to use your base diaphragm, 3 finger lengths below the belly button. It's called the lower dantian. In Kung Fu and Tai Chi, you have 3 dantians, the lower, the middle, the upper dantian. But they are 3 of the 7 chakras in yoga. So if you're into yoga, this is the 2nd chakra, the orange one. You're going to inhale and just use the belly to breathe and give the sensation of breathing a color, some form of visualization. So as you inhale, you see, feel, and experience the breath gathering in the belly. And when you exhale, you see, feel, and experience it going up and through the shoulders. Breath will split at the shoulders, the visualization, and go down the arms and the palms and fingers. Every little detail we talk about is called part of your inventory. And this exercise is called Gilded Pillow. Inhaling into the belly, exhaling and washing the color down the arms and palms and fingertips. Inhaling deep. Exhale, washing down. Inhaling deep. Exhale, washing down. Exhale, drop the hands. And inhale, lift the wrists. Breath is pulling into the wrists, into the belly. Exhale, wash the color through the palms and fingertips. Inhale, even deeper like a vacuum cleaner, pulling in through the hands. And you interlace the fingers right above your head. Boom, interlace the fingers. And exhale, the hands float down so that they come right in front of the collarbone. As this happens, bend the knees. You can even come a little forward. And you're going to inhale, turn the palms up. And stretch out of the shoulders and out of the hips onto your toes. Exhaling down. The breath work, the color visualization should wash out through the hands and down the legs. Again, uplifting heaven. Inhaling one. Exhale, wash the color out to the palms and fingertips. The arms are about 45 degrees out from the hips rather than straight out. So they're about 45 degrees out. Notice that your shoulder blade will disappear into the back. Otherwise, you'll see it sticking out. You want it to disappear so the circulation intensifies in the palms and fingertips. Inhale deep. Interlace above the head, exhaling down. Inhaling up. Exhaling down. Inhaling up. Breathing formula number 2. Inhale even deeper, intensify the breath. Exhaling down. Inhaling up. Exhaling down. Inhaling up. Even deeper. Exhaling down. Inhaling out. Feel the color gathering in the belly. Exhaling out. Breathing formula 3. Inhaling up. Exhale, wash the color through the palms and fingertips. Inhaling up. Inhale even deeper. Even deeper. And exhaling out. That's a 3-stage inhalation. Sometimes you have multiple movements that require one breath, but intensifying that breath every time you change the movement slightly. Inhaling up. Exhale, wash out. Inhaling 1. Intensify even deeper. 2. Intensify again even deeper. Bigger inhalation. 3. Exhaling out. Pushing the color like a radar from the belly to the whole body. And now this is a 4-stage inhalation. Inhaling 1. Even deeper 2, like you're turning the faucet on even wider. Even deeper 3. Even deeper 4. Exhale, color goes to the entire body. Again. 1, 2, 3, 4. One with the belly. 2, this time engage the obliques. Feel the obliques expanding out. 3, this time engage the lower back. Feel the inhalation. Muscles of the lower back helping with inhalation. And 4, use the entire belt. Everything around the waist to inhale. Feel everything expanding out. And exhale down. And again, belly, obliques, lower back, the entire belt. widen your stance. Now we'll be feet shoulder length and half apart. This is called a half horse stance. Hollow fist, very, very gentle hollow fist, almost like you're meditating, but just a little bit more tucked in with the fingers. And they'll be inhale, connected to your hips, and you're going to exhale, let the pelvis rotate on the femur. Going down, keeping the weight on the heels, keeping the chest parallel to the ground. Inhale, breath pulls you to the side and up. Exhaling down. Inhaling up. Exhaling. The breath should feel like a rope that you're climbing. A color visualization. Exhaling. And make sure to visualize with your eyes open. This is called mapping. Color visualization, being able to see, feel, and experience it with your eyes open. Map it inside your own body. And reverse it. Inhaling up. Exhaling. Inhaling up. This exercise is called Dragon Whips its head. And it's very helpful in redistributing heat that gets trapped in the chest cavity. It's great when you're stressed. Up and hand down. Inhaling up. Exhale, wash the hands, the color out through the hands. And we're going to start with exercise 11. The giant snake rolls over to fight. Inhale, the hands come to chamber. Chamber can be your palms. Chamber is essentially this position. In karate and kung fu, they have it here and here, and this position right here. Notice that with this chamber, you're going to soften the shoulders. If you're a martial arts practitioner and you're used to chamber, then you're also used to the tension in the shoulder, which we want to minimize for Tai Chi. So once you get the chamber position, soften the elbows so that you don't get that too much tension in the upper back. We want to minimize unnecessary tension. So you can have your hands open, you can have hollow fists here. I'll start with hands open. Inhale, reaching across. So I'm going to stay seated. Inhale, 1. Turning my waist and hip. Notice that I'm reaching my opposite hand across my hips, past my shoulder. And then inhaling 2, I'm going to stand up and open up. Eye and the middle finger of my extended arm. My arm is slightly rounded. And an exhale, covering over. And then exhaling even deeper, sinking my stance, turning my hips and my waist. And I'm breathing, visualizing the breath going through, down the arm to the pulse area, just under the wrist. So the eye's on the middle finger, but notice this shape that I'm pushing out, this snake-like shape. It's not a straight arm, but it's curved. And this little curve, when you're pressing on an opponent, when you have an arm or a limb, means a lot in terms of surface area and the ability to connect to your opponent's limbs and redirect them. So you want to be, it's called sticking in Tai Chi. So you want to be able to stick on those areas. So you're exhaling, pushing out from the side. And you're going to inhale and drop the elbow. Now my elbow is straight down. My palm should be facing the ceiling. Inhaling, and I'm going to bring this hand in, my other arm, and uncover the arm. It's as if someone's grabbed my wrist and I'm getting their hand off. But we're doing it slowly, very detailed. A lot of what we'll do today will be immense details in this exercise. And notice how that turns into us doing it again on the other side. So now we've reset. Inhaling 1, even deeper 2, standing up. Exhale, the arm rolls over. It's as if you're taking pressure and just rolling it downward and forward. And then you exhale even deeper. You continue that motion. Sliding forward. Eye on the middle finger. Breath on the wrist. Right here. Palm turns to ceiling. Inhale, uncover. Coming right back in. Once you uncover the arm, that other hand shoots to the side. So boom, 1, 2, exhaling 1, exhaling 2, inhaling 1, reaching across, inhaling 2, exhaling 1, exhaling 2. So all of our previous exercises leading up to this point, if you've been following this series of exercises, notice that they've been working toward the integration of the hips and the waist. And of course, we always talk about the very important detail of if you're turning your hips in this stance, in the half horse stance, that when you do so, it'll likely pull the knee unless you intentionally separate the knee in the crease right here. So in other words, as you're turning the hip forward, either hip forward, you actually have to gently push the knee, the corresponding knee, my right hip and my right knee. I gently push the knee to keep it in its place. It's as if I'm stretching right here in the groin area. Gentle stretch on either side. This helps you maintain the stance without jerking the knee as much. Because a lot of times if you turn that hip all the way, you're essentially going to get that knee to turn. Additionally, to help you with this, the posture and saving your knees, in other words, not grinding the kneecaps, you want to keep that imaginary string, and it should feel as if your center line awareness is a pillar, and the whole body is like vines wrapped around that pillar. So when you turn here, that spine should feel very straight. Even from the side, it's a little more challenging to see on the side because of all the muscles in the back, etc., visually distracting you from the actual center line awareness, that white light visualization. It goes from the base to the top of the head. It actually goes even into the ground. So here, turning, inhaling 1, even deeper, standing up, exhale. So there's several variations of this exercise. Inhaling 1, even deeper 2, exhale 1, and then exhale even deeper 2, sinking. We'll do a few more before we move on. Palm up. One. Exhale. Even deeper. Going in. Even deeper. Exhale. Even deeper. So the first variation will just be remaining seated the entire time. 1, 2. It's very important to note that this first move right here is an underhook, meaning that you have, if you're wrestling with somebody, you have an arm coming right underneath their armpit. Sometimes the underhook you grab over the shoulder behind the back to cup the arm. But in Tai Chi, a lot of times you might just reach. You might just get the underhook and reach so that you're not over-committing to a particular position, letting your opponent know where you are. If they're sensitive, if they know where you are, if they're sensitive enough to feel too much in any particular area, they can strategize around the tension in your body. So it's really, really important to keep this open hand position at times. So you have this little crank here. This underhook can be turned into a crank. And this is why this is one of my father's favorite exercises, is because this is a direct application of taking somebody's arm, having the underhook, and using with the other hand the ability to turn their body completely, to move their body into a position that you want. Some people who are less experienced will be easier to move and to set up for, let's say, a throw where you crank them slightly behind you, stick out your leg, and turn them over your leg. Lots of fun stuff like that. Or if you're playing fixed step push hands, which is one of the 2 games at the Tai Chi World Cup, where the moving step, of course, is like freestyle grappling or sumo or judo. This fixed step is a gun game. Essentially, a referee says go, and you blast the opponent off of pedestals. The first person to move their foot loses a point, or should I say the other person gets a point. So when you play this game, quick movements to position yourself and move the opponent off the pedestal are pivotal to gaining points in this game. So while this does a wonderful massage for the organs, it is a great stretch for the spine. It has wonderful martial applications right here. This one is turning an arm downward and getting a dominant position on top of an arm. Dominant position. And then, of course, the press that we spoke about first, controlling here. But if you're more of a striker or a kung fu practitioner, etc., you might see this little finger jab here as the ideal expression of this exercise. So inhaling 1, 2, exhale, press, turning out. I'll do it from 45 degrees. Uncover the arm, even deeper. Exhaling 1. Uncover the arm, even deeper. Exhaling 1. Uncover the arm, even deeper. Exhale 1. So now let's talk about a slight variation here. Inhaling. And this time, we were connecting. And I didn't go into this details much, but we were connecting in this first version that we did, the waist and the arm, meaning that there was not a lot of independent motion in the shoulder joint. It was just the waist and the arm. And let's emphasize that before the full variation is explained. My waist, of course, the hip gets some motion here. Exhale. But there's not a lot of motion in the shoulder joint. This other variation is a lot more motion in the shoulder joint. You can turn to your hip line, the imaginary hip line that we've talked about in the past. You can turn past it if you'd like, if you open the arm very wide and you really want to get a stretch, coming over and out. There's value in both. I'll say that in general, I find that if you're practicing opening up the shoulder joint, you are potentially putting yourself in danger of damaging the shoulder joint, because you might be relying on power here, which is essentially inferior to power here. You get more power with the trunk, the waist, than you will with a limb, with the arms. So you can combine the two, and something wonderful, magical can happen where you get extra wonderful power. But in general, the safest bet for you is going to be, for the shoulder joint, is going to be keeping the arm static and turning the waist. So you might lock up with an opponent, boom, boom, and you crank them right over your thigh, etc. And there's not a lot happening in the shoulder joint itself. So, but for the purpose of the Neigong and the variations and the level of detail we go into here, we're going to go for this. Inhaling. And this time we'll stand up so we start the variation off properly. Inhale, opening up. Exhale, 1. But I will say that I do feel a circulation change in my arms when I do this When I add a little bit more to the shoulder, I feel a nice flow of blood here. Exhale, softening, and then exhale even deeper. So if you're doing this for health and wellness reasons, which should always be part of the reason, it's great to do all the variations as you know. Uncovering one, really feel that stretch from hip to the hand position. So you want to feel that in the obliques and in the hip area even deeper. Opening up. Exhale, cover one. And now look at my elbow, the cover. The cover is essentially here, but the elbow is going to spiral down. And the spiraling down is going to be with gravity and with the hip, right here. So I'm allowing gravity to pull me into my proper position. And from here, palm up, uncover, and then my hips and shoulders are square just for this moment, and then my hip engages, reaching across. One, even deeper, two. Again, I'm opening the shoulder a little bit more, exhaling one, elbow slightly up, I press downward, exhale even deeper, two. Turn the palm. And you might notice that my palm doesn't go all the way to the ceiling. That's because I have scar tissue from birth here. So I can't actually turn my hand all the way. But it's totally fine. Still works out. Inhaling. One. Boom. Feel that stretch, not just in the waist, but again in the hip, because you're moving with the hip. Notice that my knee is compensating so that my knee is not pulled the hip. Boom. Here. Two. Standing up. Exhaling that one. Two. So there's a lot more. And the variation to this, or the next step to this, is to stay seated. One, two, opening up. Three. One, two, opening up. Three. And of course, if you have been training with us for a while, you know that the emphasis on the color visualization is of the utmost importance. So when you inhale, you're drawing that color into the belly. Draw it as if it's being sucked in through the fingertips like a vacuum. Here. So you feel the color pulling in. Even deeper, even more of the color pulling in down the soft part of the arm into the belly. And as you exhale, feel the pressure, the breath work moving on the hard part, the top hard part of the arm. A breath visualization on the top as you softly drop down. One, even deeper, two. The breath work pushes through the wrist and goes on the top of the arm. Inhale, one, two. Eye stays on the middle finger. Now let's talk a little bit about the tailbone and the importance of the tailbone dropping. We've mentioned this several times, discussed this before, in terms of the concept of making the overt drops, the circles, smaller to increase centrifugal force. So we want to make the circles smaller to increase centrifugal force. So how that translates into the difference between drop and shoot out. That big drop and shoot out, where you're drawing a lot of downward energy, downward power to make the hand or the arm that comes out heavier when it interacts with an opponent, to feel your weight on them, or that's what you want to deliver to them. the drop is one way to experience that or to deliver that. But you want to make that drop even more subtle so that you can feel the internal mechanics happening more precisely in your body and still get the same effect. So someone may drop like this and get a really strong punch out, or someone may just do this. And how can you get the same amount of power without the drop of gravity, without that extra axis of power? So answer is tailbone. So we're going to drop the tailbone very subtly. The hips should feel like a bowl of water pretty much anytime you're doing your Tai Chi practice. And a bowl of water that's full to the top that you don't want to spill in any particular direction. So when you're here and you're doing this exercise and you're staying seated, whether you're doing the open arm version or the waist turning version, exhaling here, 1, exhaling the deeper 2, you're going to make sure that when you finish this exercise, when you finish this movement, that 1, of course, you have your imaginary line, that the whole body feels like a vines wrapped around the pillar of the center line awareness. And as you finish the turn, there's a drop in the tailbone. That little drop in the tailbone. And again, it's not a tuck, because a tuck would push you up and it would actually work against you in many different ways, including softening the muscles in the lower back and ruining the suspension bridge function of the spine. So you want to just drop it down enough to relinquish any unnecessary tension, and that little drop manifests right here through the arm. So really dropping down. And you want to visualize this stuff too. So Tai Chi has multiple layers of visualization stacked on top of each other. So that's an example of that is the first exercise, Gilded Pillow, that we did, where we got the imaginary string, and then we started cascading the relaxation down the spine, tucking, softening the knees, etc. So all those little bits of inventory operate in the same way that the layers of visualization operate. So when you drop here, you want to feel inside in the qua, as they would call it in the more traditional Chinese training experiences. You want to feel the drop inside. You want to feel the muscles inside the hip, at the base of the spine, all of that softening. You want to feel the blood circulating in that area when you release the muscles. So the blood just floods into that area because the tension has been released. So right here, you want to feel that release. And that little drop, those little circles, all work together like cogs in a machine to manifest more of a spiraling energy going forward, spiraling momentum, taking all the pressure from the core, pushing it out. Inhale, drawing in. Reaching across for even deeper 2. Let's go to a moment to the drop of the arm, the full extension. So I remember when I first started Tai Chi, and this was one of the first Neigong exercises that I ever learned. And interestingly enough, it's toward the end of the set. So I was taught the set out of order. What I was really blown away by was how practical this motion is right here. This drop is this, you'll notice that when you have your arm out, you still have some leverage area for an opponent on the elbow, meaning that if an opponent goes against your elbow, takes it and presses their elbow, for example, as a position against this point, you are essentially getting a little bit of a tweak on your elbow. It's essentially an arm lock. It's a very gentle arm lock, very subtle arm lock, but an arm lock nonetheless. It's not an overt arm lock, meaning that no one's grabbing your hand and grabbing your other arm. It's a leverage lock. So you have this position that essentially if you're attacked here, it's going to suck because you can get compromised very easily. So the way to escape that is the drop. This little drop allows you, if you have someone's locked your arm, allows you to get the area that they're essentially focused on maintaining control of, which is this little ridge on the elbow, and allows you to take that ridge, point it downward, and slide the hand out. And I can count at least 3 times where I've had very serious situations that I've gotten out of because of this one move right here. I had a friend's friend in college causing some serious issues, who was very, very drunk, and he grabbed my arm, and he's a karate guy. And I just remember dropping the elbow and talking softly and calmly to him as I slid my hand out. And because it wasn't an abrupt movement, because I had the strength in the softness and the confidence in the softness, the entire evening, when it could have gone a different way. So it was very easy to slide out. And I had another incident with one of Gina Carano's buddies. And him locking my arm and just sliding it out on a Halloween evening. Also good times. Inhaling deep. Who also happened to be a karate guy, not come to think of it. Both with karate guys. But this exercise helps all the time. I mean, if you're doing jujitsu, if you're doing any particular grappling art, being able to get your arm back is a big deal. So again, from the side, I'm 45 degrees right now in terms of my position to the camera, dropping down and then uncover. This one little part is not always necessary because sometimes you just need to take your arm back, but sometimes you may need to create a little space. So one hand might stay still, depends on what the needs are of the situation, and or the hand might slide forward, as we've been doing, to help you achieve you getting your arm back. And now we'll do a final motion on this, which is heavy emphasis on the breath work combined with the visualization. So really pull the breath in with the fingertips. And it's no tension here, but really minimal tension here, but really seeing and feeling the circulation, meaning that the shoulder blade disappears into the upper back to help the circulation shoot to the palms and fingertips. So you should feel as if there is almost like a tugging feeling as you reach the finger forward. And that's the circulation. And if you haven't been training Neigong for a while, or you haven't trained it before, it may take a while to get that circulation. Anytime I've fallen out of practice with my Neigong, the main thing I am disappointed in myself at is the lack of the sensation of what I feel right now. I put my hands out, pushing my shoulder blades forward, and I feel the circulation intensify to the fingertips. So when I'm not practicing as much, I can't feel it as much. So, and it's a glorious sensation. So here, you want to do your best to feel that, push that shoulder blade forward, while also maintaining the shoulder softness, meaning that the shoulder doesn't lift up, it stays down, and it just goes forward. And it'll help the circulation shoot to the palms and fingertips faster. Inhale, drawing that circulation in, the breath work in, uncovering. Any of these Neigong exercises are most valuable when you have the amount of time and space to go very deep into them, to really get into a zone. I'm going to change my position up here to the side. And exhale out. 1, even deeper 2, exhale 1, 2. Now you can also make this a 3-stage inhalation if you really want to break it down. So inhaling 1, even deeper 2, even deeper 3. If you really want to break it down to those moments, and I always recommend taking something that seems simple and simplifying it even more by breaking it into parts. Inhaling 1, even deeper 2, even deeper 3. 1. Inhale, draw in. Exhaling and standing up. We've sat for a while in that position, so draw the foot up, the breath up the leg, like you're reeling in a fishing line. And exhale, kick the breath through the toes, soften the muscles like jello around the bone. Let the blood cascade to the toes as you visualize the breath pushing through the toes. And you do the kick all at the same time. And switch legs, inhaling up. Exhale, same thing. Soften the muscle around the bone, let the blood cascade down, and breath visualization to the leg too. Inhaling up. Exhale out. Draw in. Do some closing exercises. Uplifting heaven twice. Big breath, even deeper. Exhale down. 2. Bring the feet 2 fists apart. Inhaling up. Breath lifts the wrists. Fingers reach the back. Chest to the ceiling. Hips forward. Weight on the toes. Exhale, butt back, fingers forward. Soften the knees. Inhale, breath lifts the wrists. Fingers reach to the back. Chest up. Hips forward. Weight on the toes, exhale, butt back, fingers forward. Pushing the color from palms and fingertips. Soften the knees. Inhaling up. Exhale, wash it down. Inhaling, let the breath in. And exhale, wash the color down the legs. Inhale up. And we're going to stick 1 foot forward and bend the back leg. So bend the back leg, keep the heel, the toe up, and only place the heel on the ground. Here, exhale, reaching forward to the toes. Hold, inhale deep, exhale, pull yourself in a little bit more. Inhaling up, switch legs. Exhaling down, grab the toes. Inhale deep, exhale, pull yourself a little deeper. Inhaling up. Now we're going to switch legs 45 degrees. Out. Exhale down. Hold. Inhale deep. Exhale through the leg. Pull yourself a little deeper. So visualize the color going into the belly as you inhale up. Exhale. Visualize it going through the hands as you go down. Hold. Inhale deep into the belly. And exhale. Visualize the color washing down the leg. The stretching leg as you pull yourself in. Inhaling up. Switch 90 degrees now. 1 foot is facing the camera, the other foot's facing the wall. Exhaling through the hand. Grab the toe. Inhale deep. Exhale, pushing it through the leg. Inhale, switch. Exhale to the hand. Hold. Inhale to the belly, the color gathers. Exhale, push it through the leg. Pull yourself in. Inhaling up. Color coming into the soft parts of the body, into the belly, even the legs. And exhale, washing down, feet shoulder length apart. Inhaling up onto the toes, turn to the right. Exhale, washing white light down the legs. Inhale, white light into the belly, turn to your left side onto your toes. Exhale, wash it down. Inhaling up over the head and washing behind the body. From here, chopping, slapping up. of the body, up the soft part, turn down the hard part. Switch arms up the soft part, turn down the hard part. Over the shoulders, slapping down the back, gentle around the kidneys, lower back, slapping down the legs behind you. Inhaling up, just the fingertips. Exhaling down. Inhaling up. Exhaling. 3 more. Rub the hands together. And we're going to go around the chest, exhaling, pushing the color to the palms into the chest, as if you're warming everything up in the lungs, tapping around pectoral major, around the pectoral muscles, and massaging even deeper into the lymph nodes and pressure points in the pecs. And then from the floating rib up, we're going to slap, let the pressure reverberate through the chest cavity. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Each slap goes higher. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Other side. Floating rib up. 2, 3, 4, 5. Again. 4 fingers on the sternum for the immune system and tapping. Hook shape, U shape on either side of the collarbone and tapping. Palm open from the collarbone to the chin, looking straight up, and relax all the way through the reproductive organs as you do this, and really massaging quickly and strongly upward. Counterpoint from the back of the neck, like you're getting sand off the back of the neck. And going up on the face to the side, up on the face to the side, up on the face to the side, on the ears, massaging for sleep on the earlobe. And taking off my hat, hair's all messy, from the front to back, back to front, front to back, back to front. Fingers to the scalp, front to back to front, and massage. Front to back to front, slapping, hollow fist, gentle banging. Grab the scalp, knead it like though, and then release and grab another patch. 1, 2, 3. Release and grab another patch. 1, 2, 3. Release and grab another patch, and then reverse it. 2, 3. Release. 1, 2. Release. Release. 4 fingers on the temple and massage. 1, 2, 3, 4, and reverse it. And then up, over, down, under. On the sides of the ears, up, over. Very strong pressure. Middle finger right on the, between the nose and the lip, massage. For the heart and such. Under the eyes, circles. Reverse it, temples, and reverse it. Above and below the teeth, 1, 2, the gums, so up here and below, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, switch, 2, 3. On the gums on the side above the teeth, feel the fingers fall into the natural pressure point, massage, below, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and tongue, and reverse it. Flick the fingers out and grab 1, 2, 3, 4. Shoot them out again and grab 1, 2, 3. Close the eyes. Inhale, white light. Spread it to the whole body. Inhale, roll white light up to the front of the body. Exhale, roll it down the back like a waterfall. Inhale, white light up the left side, foot to head. Like a tidal wave rising. Exhale, roll down the right side, head to foot, like a waterfall. Inhale, white line to the belly. Exhale, push it down the legs into the ground. Let it come back up and around like a fountain in reverse, making a big bubble around the body. One more breath into the belly. Exhale, push it to the top of the head. Let's surround the body, making a big bubble. You just have gratitude for the body, the space you're in, good people in your life. And thank you guys for training. As usual, this has been Justice for Hire's Tai Chi to the People. You can join the cast of Justice for Hire on our app, which is a cinematic universe in your pocket at justiceforhire.app. And we love you guys. Every week we dedicate our training to another noble cause. And this week is at every town. So again, gun safety. If you like what we're doing here and you would like to donate directly to them and as they help to educate people on gun safety across the states. So super important subject. And I'm Coach Jan. So you can always find my Tai Chi stuff on my YouTube channel, Coach Jan, Tai Chi Push Hands. And we love you guys. And we'll see you next week. And I'm going to end this now. Always feel free to ask questions. So please do so.